Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Torn Curtain, and this movie is directed by Alfred Hitchcock, and it came out in 1966, and I thought this movie was pretty great. I thought it was one of Alfred Hitchcock's better movies, if not best movies. I don't know how you would categorize as best, like top 10 probably, because he has so many movies. But if we're saying top 10, then probably yes, even if I haven't seen too much from him. Like when you start to think about how many movies he's made, like his movies have spanned over like 6 decades or something. Like he was making movies in the 20s, that's where he started, and this one I thought was pretty great, and there was a lot that I really loved about it. The characters were very well written and realized, and I was always with the movie and interested in terms of like where the story was going, and it wasn't so unpredictable that it's like I never know what's going to happen at any given moment. It's more like, oh, how are we going to get out of this situation, or how are we going to execute this? And the movie always kept going, and the pacing for this movie is great, and it never once overstays its welcome. And I also thought this movie looked great. It's very well shot, like all of Alfred Hitchcock's movies that I've seen. This movie just really knows how to present information visually very well. And the dialogue is very well written. All the characters talk like real people, or at least to the extent that you can believe them as real people. And as far as this movie goes in terms of tone-wise, it's not really a horror movie. It's more of like a thriller mystery type thing, and you don't really know what's going on. And the movie does slowly reveal itself as to what it's trying to be, and eventually you do figure out what the story is. And the movie does kind of juggle the perspective of where it's being shown, and I was getting kind of worried towards the beginning of the movie. I was like, oh, is this going to be the first one that I don't really like all that much? But eventually, the movie develops everything out, and it gets a lot better from there. And I just connected with the film a lot better after a certain point. And there wasn't one bad scene in this movie that really dragged the movie down for me, or kind of ruined the movie. And I was like, oh, can we just get on to the next scene? That never happened in this movie. I was fully with it. It had my attention. And that's what I love best about Alfred Hitchcock movies, because they're, okay, this isn't the case for all older movies, but in terms of like movies from a certain period, from like the 60s, 50s, and 40s, or so forth, like he's made some of my favorite movies of any specific decade, especially the 40s, mostly because I haven't seen many movies from the 40s, but his movies always stand out to me, and they don't necessarily blend together as in like he makes the same movie every time. He does have a certain style, but it does feel like he's bringing something new to each of his films, or at least most of his films, and he's tackling a few different genres. He's not just making horror movies. Like he even did a comedy movie at one point, The Trouble with Harry, which is a movie that I really enjoyed. And I just think he does a great job with all of his movies, or at least for the most part, they're very well made. I can say that much. Or at least for the ones that I've seen. And my only real issue with this movie is that there was dubbing at points. And yeah, that's just something that you're going to have to get used to, because it does happen every once in a while, but it never really ruined any particular scene for me. It's just like, that probably could have been done better. But that's really my only issue with the movie. And whenever there's blood, it's just red paint, and that's just what movies did for the longest time, whenever they showed off blood. But in terms of issues, I don't really have any other issues with this movie. It's just a really great film that I would highly recommend, and I will definitely be rewatching this movie. So definitely check this movie out whenever you get the chance, and with all that being said, I'm going to give Torn Curtain a 9 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of Torn Curtain, and my social media links. They will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Topaz from this collection. So look forward to that. But until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.